Yotta, you ain't know. All right, this is part two of today's message, and I also going to let you know what age we're in. Okay, and these are, and this is basically from some sources that I trust. I do trust. All right, if you hear any noise in the background or voices that isn't mine in this video, if you have the willpower, disregard it. All right. So, this being said, let me tell you a little bit about something, okay? Those, you know, I I've always been a bookworm, okay? In a sense, my biological mother used to, when she go disciplining me, she'll basically take away my my PS2 or PSP, and then like I'm in there with books and stuff like that. Like I had a whole bookshelf and stuff like that. And even though my siblings, she had one at her bookshelf in her room, she ain't really read her books. I used to kind of like go in there and like sneak and like, or try to be cool with her and like get one of her books or whatever, because I'm like, bro, she don't be reading it. So I became very fine with books. Okay, the thing is, it got to the point to where I I basically there was a time where I learned more about manifestation. Okay, so let me tell you this a little bit, something about this. Okay, and this, okay, so let me tell you the age of duality. Okay, let me tell you about when duality happened versus unipolarity. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about these switches, that subtle switches that a lot don't see. They, some think we're still in the old stuff, the old paradigm, the old, that kind of matrix, when, actually we're in the creatrix. All right. So this being said, all right. So back in the day, I used to, I when I didn't really have a place to stay, I used to stay. I found a shed one time, and I stayed in a shed, and I found one of the rooms and everything, and I put a candle in there. I meditate and stuff like that, and basically I used to like go in to do a visualization. I was very big, like a little bit big on manifestation, and seeing how quickly my manifestations came when I visualized them. Okay, because when so I was like doing an experiment, like a universe, like a whole experiment. So I found like I visualized what time, like, okay, there was one time I visualized like I was seeing my eye from the sky, and I was looking down on like the bus station, and I was like, I would like to get a certain, I would like to try to, I was learning how to get around like not having to use money. How can I just, get something without having to use money? So, there was one time like I visualized my eye looking down at the bus stop, and I visualized, getting a book from some guy that had like his hair was like palm trees and everything, and I didn't know a guy at that time. I was just like letting the universe show me a little bit, and uh and he was like, and I seen him like giving me something, like it was a book or something. So basically there was one day, not certain how long this day was, it was just like a couple days or whatever, or not certain how quickly that was. It was just one time he this guy comes to the bus stop. I'm sitting at the bus stop, pop top, and I'm talking to people. I used to like smoke back then a little bit, and this guy came there with orange peel, like an orange peel on his teeth and stuff. He was real cool. Like he was a real cool brother. You feel me? You feel me? Like, he was kind of, special. You could tell, he didn't really fit the norm. And he was like, he let me use a book. And he was like, he trusted that I get that book back to the library, and everything. And it was like Kabbalah, you know. And the book told me, like, once I read it, I can't go back, so that was like one of the first, like, little bit of, like, not say one of the first, just like one of the manifestations. But well, wow, okay, could have, might have been. So basically, here's another example. Okay, there was one time that I basically, there was a time in my life where I wanted to test to see if God was real, the big G. I wanted to test if God was real. So I actually put one of these in my visualization in you feel me, put a visualization in here, and I visualize me running into individual. I just, let the universe, they show me, the individual I'll be talking to about this, and I told the individual they were going to they was going to give me something, and they were going to tell me something. They was going to stop, and they was going to tell me, man, it's almost like God told me to uh, talk to you, or God told me to tell you this, and so, you feel me? I seen that in my vision. I seen it. I put it there intentionally to see if that would come true. Okay, I kid you not, that there was a certain night, and I ran to this, pink brother. I don't say Caucasian, whatever. I ran into him, and I'm like, we was talking. I think he gave me something too, and then he said the words that came. Man, it was almost like God told me to tell. And now, I didn't say anything about that. I seen that in my vision. I just, oh well, really? It just like oop, check. That really just happened. This dude just really said what I visualized he would say. I ain't tell him that though. You feel me? So I'm like, wow. So I know about manifestations, y'all. All y'all dealing with, certain arts and occults and stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with that. Okay. So the thing is, beautifuls, now to the individuals that have an open mind. So now we're in this age. Okay, we're in this age of unipolarity. Okay, everyone's vision ain't gonna pop off. Okay, you can visualize something, it may not, it's most likely not pop, because the universe most likely has something better for you that the mind can't even fathom. Okay, you just got it. You feel me? You think it's about preparing your frequency for it, as if you already have it. You feel me? Some of y'all just like still in the visualization. The thing is, you feel me? Some of y'all had to know about resonating, like the feeling that y'all have with each other. You can visualize you with, but what is the feeling, the quality that, y'all vibe if y'all around each other? What would y'all be feeling automatically? Just like, even if y'all was just sitting down together and looking at each other, what would be the feeling? You feel me? You got to already feel like that's already happened. Like that's already happened, So that's kind of what we're in now. Okay. So I'm finding out that in a sense, so basically we're no longer in the age of belief. We're in the age of discernment. Okay. So that being said, we're no longer in the age of tell me. We're in the age of show me. All right. So everyone is going to be showing their work. What's in their heart is going to be showing. Okay, they going when you see somebody and they show you when they show you themselves, that's who they really are. Okay, so the thing is, allow people to show you, so you feel me, so how to, you feel me, where to draw the line. Okay, I'm going to keep you in my life, or you feel me. However, you're going to be showing them too. Okay, you got to allow individuals to to show themselves, because you're going to be showing them who you are. You feel me? If you got some dark or greed or whatever, you're going to be showing your greed. You can't hide it. Masks are coming off. All right. Everybody's real intentions are going to be showing. When you approach somebody, you feel me, you automatically showing them what you there for. You feel me? You feel me? If I'm coming for a conversation, or usually I just go around dropping gems. Sometimes I just like to hear what people talk about, just so I can drop some gold nuggets. Because me, I know if somebody going to use it. You feel me? I literally go around setting people up for karma. People don't know. That's why I just tell people, like, I'm not really worried about y'all. Like, I'm not worried about weapons. I literally set people up for their karma. Either you going to get good karma, or you're not going to get good karma. You go get something that you owe down. All right? So that's literally like usually what I do. So I've been dropping gold bar. Usually I used to go to libraries, and I used to touch specific books. And I'm like, you feel me? I'm going to get all that late. It's coming. You feel me? However, it's all being downloaded to me. Every book that I touched at those certain libraries, all that's going to be downloaded into me. You feel me? The thing is about sitting still. You feel me? Surrendering to the universe. That's the only way you're going to get fed it's called source fed. You're not getting fed on the outside of you. You feel me? It's time for you, your maturity, for you to take, you feel me, your sovereign soul to, you feel me? You got to take the authority from your sovereign soul, and not authority from outside of you. Okay? all them politicians, whatever. You just get on them about how you're getting treated, okay? I love y'all. Stay accountable.